My name's Kristy and I work at Ipswich West Special School. I'm a head of curriculum and a teacher. My problem that I identified was that we were teaching these students in our school to use AAC devices, which are augmentative alternate communication devices, and they were using them at school perfectly, but then they weren't taking them home and the parents didn't know how to use them, and I wasn't seeing them out in the community, so that was my frustration. With all the quirky cafes that are opening, they've got menus on the blackboards, so you can't even point to what you want if you are non-verbal and don't have a voice, and you can't read if you're illiterate, and if you come from a non-English speaking background, you obviously can't read it either. So when our students were going into cafes, we were basically having to order for them. So when you take their choices away from them, that's when we start to see behaviours. They can't make a decision for themselves. It'd be like you or I that can't go somewhere and order something. It's frustrating. And
my name's Sarah. I'm the Deputy Principal at Ipswich West Special School. I think the pivotal moment that I remember her saying was there was one classroom where the teacher aide just wasn't on board, didn't want to do it, and she went and said to them, "Why aren't you doing it?" And this teacher aide had a special needs daughter herself who was at another school and just said, "What's the point? Why? Why are we doing it? It's not done at home. They can't do it in the community. I can't go anywhere. So why would I do it here? Why would I waste my time teaching this kid?" And Kristy's like, "Oh, yeah, you've got a point." And so that's when Kristy started to think and question why had she put all this work in when it was just happening. And then that happened pretty much the same time that the Changemaker course came along and started happening. So I think it just helped and put two and two together, and that's really what then sparked Kristy off on her new plan.
Out of our 71 students, we have 25 using AAC devices, so PEX, POD or Proloquo, as communication devices. But on top of that, most of our students struggle to put a sentence together to actually order what they want. Most of our students struggle to read English. So I would say probably most of our students would struggle to go into a cafe and order. The first solution I had was I'm going to open up my own cafe. Obviously that was going to cost a lot of money, and I was like, that's not thinking big and acting small, that's acting big. So then I changed my thought processes. What I decided on was a picture menu. So I thought that all cafes and restaurants could have a picture menu, and this would make it easier for students with a disability to access, and also it looks like a communication device that they've used before, like a PEX or a POD book with pictures. They know to take the item that they want off, put it on the sentence strip and take it up to the counter and give it to the person. So some of them still need that little bit of prompting to go to the counter and give it to the person, but that'll all come with experience. So they just have a massive smile on their face whenever I come up and collect them from their classroom and say it's your turn to come to the cafe. They tell me using the POD book that it's so much fun and it's great, and they just thoroughly enjoy going. So when I first approached Donna, the owner of Smith Cafe, she was very excited to be a part of something like this, and she thinks that it's wonderful and that all cafes should be doing it. I want it to go viral, so I want every cafe and restaurant all across the world to have picture menus, and I want an app that identifies which cafes and restaurants are picture friendly cafes and restaurants. And I also want a sticker as a logo in shop front windows that is an identifying icon that shows the people walking past that, yep, we're a picture-friendly menu. If you come in here, we'll understand what you want to order.
I've worked in a few special schools around this area, and I definitely feel like this school, it's one of the smaller ones, so we've got a really great staff culture and everyone's amazingly supportive of every idea. A common quality would be that they're all looking for new ways to excite the students and get them all learning and adapt what we're told to do, the curriculum, to really suit each student. I think Kristy's within herself become a lot more confident, and should take risks more?
Well, I don't think I would have gone down this path if I hadn't have gone to the Changemaker workshop. Yeah, it's just been an amazing year, and I didn't really think that I had it in me to do all this, so it's been inspiring, and I feel like this year I've really grown into my skin and I know who I am and who I want to be, and that's all been a process of this Changemaker journey.